Hello, I'm Tessa Rickard, a nutritionist passionate about helping you to eat joyfully and digest like a pro. Have you been led to believe by pharmaceutical companies and clever marketing campaigns that your acid reflux is due to high stomach acid? In which case, why is it that reflux and GORD increase with age at the same time that our stomach acid levels decline? That doesn't make any sense. Personally, I have never seen a client with too much stomach acid in clinic. Where necessary, I use hydrochloric acid supplementation temporarily to give clients some upper digestive relief, and they always benefit from this intervention. Proton pump inhibitors, also known as PPIs, are one of the most prescribed pharmaceuticals in Australia. In 2016, a staggering 12% of Australians were taking PPIs. Proton pump inhibitors like Nexium or Somax suppress the production of stomach acid, most commonly in an attempt to reduce irritation to the esophagus associated with acid reflux and GORD. According to the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners, and I quote, "Taking PPIs over many months or years is not safe. Studies have shown an increased risk of premature death due to cardiovascular disease, stomach cancer, and kidney disease. They should only be used temporarily for a 14-day period, which should not be repeated for another 12 months. Despite this, many Australians, and certainly many people who walk into my clinic, have been taking them long term. The longest I have seen is 10 years of continual use. And on top of this, we've got self-administered over-the-counter antacid medication too, which doesn't require a prescription. So what are the risks? As discussed in previous videos, many of the risks are associated with the higher pH levels in your stomach due to lack of acidity. The increased pH levels in your stomach and the upper part of your lower intestines affect your body's ability to absorb nutrients, meaning that B12 and magnesium deficiencies are common, but I also see low iron, zinc, and other B vitamins low all the time too. Other risks include osteoporosis due to lack of nutrient absorption to build strong bones, as well as stomach cancer, kidney, and cardiovascular disease risks as discussed above. One of the most immediate impacts is something called PPI-induced dysbiosis of the small intestine. Have you heard of SIBO? If not, don't worry, I'm going to do a whole series on it in the new year. All you need to know is that your small intestine, the part closest to your stomach, differs from the large intestine in that it isn't really meant to host many bacteria, unlike the large intestine, which is teeming with around 2 kilos of bacteria called the microbiome. When you mess with the natural order of your digestion and suppress stomach acid with PPIs, it disrupts your entire digestive system. It affects the pH levels of each stage of digestion, enzyme activity to break down nutrients, the muscle contractions that shift waste out through your body, and all of this affects the bacteria, which should remain in the large intestine, but are able to translocate back up into the small intestine, where they definitely do not belong. Ordinarily, your small intestine would be too acidic for these kinds of bacteria, but with help from PPIs, they are able to thrive. When you combine this with poor enzyme activity, this bacteria have a party every time you eat, consuming and fermenting food particles and creating huge amounts of gas and bloating. 2 symptoms of SIBO are constant bloating and burping. As we discussed last week, when you get that huge gas production in the upper abdomen, it puts pressure on your lower esophageal sphincter, and this can lead to reflux, burping, and uncomfortable indigestion, meaning that your reflux or GORD will get worse with long-term PPI use. So not only have PPIs been linked to an increased risk of premature death, but they affect nutrient absorption and digestion so that the normally low levels of bacteria in the small intestine are able to overgrow and become dysbiotic. Bacteria from the large intestine is able to translocate back up into the small intestine, causing PPI-induced dysbiosis, and this is how your Nexium could have you trapped in a nasty upper digestive cycle. If this is you, please get in touch if you want to talk about how nutritional medicine can help you. And check out my 6 Days of Digestion mini e-course out soon. See you next week.